Well, the way Ripple uses the XRP token in our tech stack, we use it to enable that cross-border, extremely fast and extremely reliable transaction. So we use XRP because of its attributes that make it fast and inexpensive. There are other tokens that people use for other use cases that don't work as well for payments. The XRP ledger, from its origins, has really enabled payments at scale in a way that certainly Bitcoin, while it's very good for digital gold, its speed and cost per transaction makes it less attractive for a payments type use case. So Ripple will continue to use XRP because of its core attributes as a really efficient technology.
Is that something you see continuing in your tech stack going forward?
For sure, without question. And I think you'll see Ripple use the XRP ledger for other use cases as well. We're certainly making investments, as I mentioned, in the carbon credit marketplace and other verticals that we think could be compelling.
We've seen a lot of market volatility, of course, in the public equity markets. We've seen that filter through to the crypto markets as well. What's your outlook for the rest of the year? Do you expect sort of crypto markets to push higher and that volatility reduce, or are you expecting just this continued sort of seesawing we're seeing?
I think it's really hard to know the timing, but I'm incredibly bullish on crypto overall. And frankly, that's because of the macro factors. There's two that I'll highlight. The macro factor around inflation globally. You saw this past week record inflation, for I think 4 decades, inflation in the United States at 8.5%. The other factor I think is really important not to lose sight of is, as you and I have talked about, the move from crypto overall towards an institutional use case, solving real problems for real customers, and these scaled solutions that aren't just about the speculative activity that has really driven some of the historic crypto market activity.
Brad, I want to sort of move on and talk about regulation, which has been a huge topic yesterday, and it will continue today as well. You're currently in a legal battle with an SEC that's been going on for a year or so. Can you give us an update on that and when you expect a resolution?
That started in December 2020, and the core question there is around a nuanced legal question. Is XRP a security? And did Ripple sell, as an XRP, an investment contract, did Ripple sell unregistered securities? Did I, Brad Garlinghouse, sell XRP as an unregistered security? I think it's very clear that in the United States, the laws have not been clear. And for the SEC then to go back in time and say, you should have known all along, it's really, I think, going to be hard. It's a hard case. And I think what we're seeing in the court process, which does continue to play out, is a judicial process that recognizes some of this. Even this past couple days, there was a ruling from the court finally requiring the SEC to publish information about some speeches that the Director of Corporate Finance, Hinman, gave about Ether not being a security. And the fact that even now you have the SEC not able to answer the question, is Ether a security? They won't answer that question. They're saying there's clarity, but then they won't provide clarity. They're saying they won't comment on specific projects, but then they comment on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one of the largest projects, but yet still just a project.
Just in terms of broader crypto market regulation, we had, of course, the executive order from President Joe Biden. At the time, there was a lot of criticism. Well, this doesn't sort of go far enough. It's not laying out specifics. What's your view on it? Did you think it was significant for the market?
I think it was very significant. I think it's very positive. Frankly, the leadership we've seen outside of the United States in crypto regulation is way ahead of where it has been in the U.S. It's something we've been saying for years. And I think at the core of the executive order from the Biden administration is acknowledging that exact point, that the competitiveness of the U.S. in these developing markets around crypto, around blockchain technologies has fallen behind, and more investment and more talent is going outside the United States. When entrepreneurs here in Paris talk to me about starting companies in the crypto space, one of the first things I'll recommend to them is you shouldn't start the company in the United States because there isn't that clarity. And so a lot of the hiring, even for Ripple, we'll hire over 300 people this year. Well over half of those I expect to be non-US based.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.